Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about your best flat tow setup for your 2016 Honda Fit. There's going to be 5 main components needed to flat tow your Honda Fit. You're going to have the base plate, which a base plate is going to provide us with a solid connection point. That way we can hook our tow bar up to it. That tow bar is going to be the second thing that we're going to need. So the tow bar is going to be the link in between the front of our Honda and the back of our motorhome. The third thing will be safety cables. And these are going to be used as a backup device in the event of a catastrophic disconnect. These are going to keep your Honda attached to the back of your motorhome. Fourth thing is going to be tow bar wiring. So the wiring is going to transfer all of the necessary lighting functions from the back of your motorhome to the back of your Honda. That way you're not only safe, but legal as well. And last but not least is the braking system. So the braking system is going to apply the brakes in your Honda whenever you hit the brakes in your motorhome. So that way it's going to bring you to a more safe and predictable stop, and you're really going to help reduce any wear and tear on the motorhome, because with the braking system, your motorhome isn't solely responsible to do all the stopping. So now let's go ahead and kind of talk about each component individually that we're using today and why I either like or dislike it. So the first one, we're going to talk about the base plate. Now I particularly like this base plate, and for a couple of different reasons. Ease of use being one of them, and since it is a crossbar style, what it's going to do is raise our attachment point here up a little higher off the ground. That way not only is it going to tow a little bit better behind your motorhome, but you're not going to have to bend down so far and try to get your tow bar connected and disconnected. This style of base plate just uses a pin, so it's more or less a quick connect that attaches the tow bar to the base plate. It just makes it really easy to use. Compared to some of the other base plates available, in my opinion, this one is probably going to be the easiest to set up and the most user-friendly. As far as the tow bar goes, today we have the Roadmaster Falcon 2. Now I'll be honest with you, I'm really not too crazy about this particular tow bar. Although it is going to get the job done and look pretty good, there is one big thing that I'm really not too impressed with. And that's the fact that this is a binding style tow bar. So what that means is when your arms are fully extended and locked into place and you arrive to your destination, sometimes you're not always on perfectly level surface, and these arms can get locked and make it really difficult to get unhooked, which kind of defeats the purpose of the quick style base plate. There's going to be buttons here that you have to depress and kind of fight it to get it to break free and get the arms to be able to retract. They do make a tool for this, but that's one more thing you're going to have to pick up separately and keep track of. If it were me, I like the non-binding style tow bars a lot more. They have levers, or if you do get in a bind, you just pull up on the levers. Everything's built in, and it releases those arms. For example, I prefer the Roadmaster Nighthawk or even the Roadmaster All-Terrain. Those are both great choices as far as the tow bar goes. Now when it comes to the safety cables, these are going to be pretty straightforward. Really the only thing you're going to have to pay attention to is the weight capacity and the overall length of them. Today we're using the Roadmaster 68-inch that have a 6,000 pound capacity, so that's more than enough for our Honda Fit. There is one other thing I do want to mention. So these are coiled style. That way they'll sit up off the ground when we're going straight down the road, but whenever we make a turn, we're going to have that extra length that we need, so they'll stretch out. And you would use these in a situation when you have a tow bar, like the Falcon 2, for example, that does not have channels. Some of the other tow bars have built-in channels, and those channels are there to run your safety cables and your wiring through. So you'd want to definitely utilize that feature of the tow bar And so in that case, you would want to get safety cables that are straight. That way you can run them through there. As far as the tow bar wiring goes, we're using the Roadmaster diode wiring kit. Now, I really like the diode wiring over the magnetic type lighting because it's really easy to use. Once it's installed, you're not going to have to do anything other than hook up the cable from the front of your Honda to the back of your motorhome. As opposed to the magnetic style lighting, which are magnetic lights, you're going to have to stick them to the roof of your car, drape wires over the front of it, and you're going to have to do that every time you want to flat tow. With this, it's always in place, and like I said, you're just going to have to plug that cable in. So up here at the front, this is a cable that goes to the front of our Honda, goes along the way, and plugs into the back of our motorhome. So there's a couple things to pay attention to, especially as far as the cable goes. Again, this one's coiled like our safety cables, and this will be used with tow bars that don't have channels. There's pretty much an identical kit as to the one we're using today, except with a straight cable, and that'll be for the tow bars that have channels so you can utilize it properly. Another thing to pay attention to is the really nice tow bars. Some of them actually come included with a cable as well as a plug. So the diode wiring kit that may interest you, if that's your situation, is the one that pretty much gives you the bare bones needed to hook up the car side and does not come included with the cable and the plug. When it comes to the braking system, you're going to have multiple different choices to choose from. But the one that I like and had a lot of experience with and that we're using today is the Demco supplemental braking system. Now, one of the big reasons I like it is how easy it's going to be to use. Anytime you want to flat tow, all you're going to have to do is activate the system, which simply requires you to just flip this switch into the on position. Then you're ready to go. You really don't have to worry about anything else. Whenever you're disconnected from the motorhome and you're ready to cruise around town and you're fit, you simply deactivate the system by flipping the switch into the off position. Now, if you don't flat tow all that often, or you don't plan on keeping your vehicle all that long, a portable style braking system may be a better choice. That way you can transfer it from vehicle to vehicle, and you're not going to have anything permanently mounted in your car. If that's your situation, I'd recommend the Blue Ox Patriot 2. And that'll finish up our look at of our best flat tow setup for your Honda Fit. I hope you find this information useful and it helps you decide which flat tow components to get for your Honda.